Right, so in this video we're just going to look at NextGen and we're going to apply the stuff I talked about in the last two videos to come up with, in theory, a good defense for this map. Pretty straightforward. So the first thing that we always do is we look at the front line of the map, we look at where people can attack our wall room. So on NextGen there is this, which is a side island that people can use to bridge into your wall room. There's the main lane, which teams can use to push individually or together. There is a 2 wide gap right here that tunnelers can go through. This is spawn, so you can't break it. That ends right here, and then opens up. And then there are, so there's team push away the tunnelers, the sky bridge, and then there's the roof, which players can use either to just get on top of the ninja bridge when you're not looking, or they can use, if they get into your other room, to bridge up and then take control and then slowly pressure you out. From this side, as well as they can just team push from the other lane by rotating through your base, and they can make this jump that you will promptly shoot the sand at the pressure plates, so they can't make that jump anymore. So that's the first thing. You know they can attack from this entire portion of the map past this wall right here, or like not a wall, but like this section right here. You also know they can push from right here. The next part then is to identify where the bedrock walls are. The bedrock walls are here, 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 and this is the wall room that you can't, the region you can't place. There's a bedrock wall here, and there are bedrock walls here. This bedrock wall region reaches out all the way up until the sand right about, I want to say here. Yeah, right there. And that's your spawn. So now it's time. Now we have to identify what kind of how people are going to mainly push. So NextGen is a fantastic map because it's slow-paced enough that you can play defensively and make a good defense, but it's fast-paced enough that there are a variety of ways to attack the wall room, which make it really interesting and fun to play. So you can obviously bridge. You can also underbridge. You can push through all of these sections, you can push through here. So what we know for a fact is that people will most likely make a giant fucking bridge that takes a very long time for you to build through this void lane. What that means is you probably don't have to worry about people pushing this side of your lane for a very long time. What that means is you probably don't need to build a very complicated defense on this side of the lane, at least initially. What we also know is since people are most likely a sky bridge, we should probably not put a lot of water. We should instead use pressure plates, so when people jump, they take fall damage, or when they get knocked off, they take fall damage. From this side, it's a little bit more complicated. We know people are going to team push, so we probably want some sort of anti-team fight frontline defense / water on this somewhere on this lane. We also know that people will very consistently bridge from up here, which means we probably want pressure plates right about here. And then, since we know the bridge is almost a height limit, we want to make our wall as high as possible. We always want to make our wall as high as possible, but I'm just justifying it. And we know that tunnelers exist, so we probably want to do something to prevent tunnelers, either by digging out a very small portion of the lane so we can see when people are tunneling, or by making an actual anti-water or anti-tunnel defense by like placing water here, which is not pretty common, but very well known to make, or how to make. And yeah, so that's how we approach NextGen. Now we actually have to build the defense. So I might fast forward this, I might not, I'm not sure yet. All I know for sure is that I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible and try to justify my explanation. So the first thing we do is we have fences. The reason we have fences is quite straightforward. I've explained in previous videos already. We always add fences. You can add 1 layer, you can add 2 layers, whatever. But I don't usually dig this part out. The reason I don't dig it out is because they have to pillar up here anyways, so this block isn't really stopping anyone from doing anything. Also, I use this block as a part of my defender platform. So the way I make my defense is, first I build the wall, 5 high, it got glitched down, 5 high like usual, build it 5 high everywhere. Please don't skimp on this. You can also build it out of glass if you really want to. You do spawn with enough glass, or you can get enough glass. And then now when we're done the initial base of the wall, we look around, we see where people are making progress, and then we decide. So if we have this island, it's not a big deal for us to do anything here. So we don't start from this side, we start from this side. Most likely you'll always start from this side because within 7 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, they're not gonna do anything. We then make the wall. This. We try to be even, but we do obviously spend most of our time on this side because this is where most people will be pushing at the beginning. And we make this wall to height limit. So I'll probably cut here and show you the final result. And yeah, this is the final defense. It's quite simple, it's quite fast to make. It takes about 15 minutes, maybe 17 minutes. The key to a defense on a map like NextGen is speed, and I will talk about that in the next video or the video after that, how cutting corners and speed is super important for making defending at a high level. But just to quickly go over the reasons I made the decisions I did for this defense, there should be pressure plates here by the way, whatever. So I put pressure plates here because most of the time when people try to go for the room, they will at least send one person to the roof, to bridge. If they fall, they die. Pretty simple. Also, if there's a team rushing you, it's much harder for them to rush on the pressure plates if you shoot them off. Thirdly, and then you can also extend this much further out if you want to, which will make it harder for them. Over here, same reason. If people push, they will. If people start bridge, they will fall and they will take fall damage and they'll be sad. Also, this height advantage makes it so you can shoot at them and hit them without them being able to hit you as easily. They also have to tunnel into your wall, but the way they have to tunnel in is they have to tunnel like this, which means you can always tunnel down. Like as they're tunneling down, you can also tunnel down to meet them and then crit them out, because they'll most likely be lower than you. Or you could just wait it out and let them tunnel through, hit the bedrock wall back here, and then crit them out as they're pillaring up. What else? The reason I have this here, but not on this side, is because on this side, if I place the fences, it'll just be an easier thing for them to water drop on or to fall on and take less fall damage. Whereas over here, I know if a bridger gets this wall here, he's probably in anyways, and it's not that big of a difference, the 3 block difference. However, this has a huge advantage of keeping people who are pillaring up off of me. So if they try to come up, this has happened to me a million times. They'll pillar up like this, and they'll try to hit me out, and then I'll hit them back because they can't jump on me because of this fence. The fences, this wall here is used to split people up. So when a team is pushing, oh, and I forgot to put water here. This is important. I'll explain this after. But you don't have to do that. You can just leave it like whatever. Anyways, the reason I have this is because I want to split people off, and this does indeed split people off. Offenders won't usually make a coordinated decision to break through or pillar over, and if they do pillar over, you can shoot them back. So like what a lot of time what happens for me is 2 or 3 people will be pushing, they'll all try to pillar up, I'll shoot one off and he'll fall back here, and his 2 other teammates will rush me. I'll keep shooting the guy back here to keep him off and to force the fight with the other 2 on my wall. One of them will try to pillar up, I'll knock him off, and then I'll take the other fight wherever the guy ends up pillaring to. So I'll explain prioritizing team fighting, but in the past 2 videos I talked about how making defense like this splits people off and how that's really useful. One big weakness is that you want to be careful of people doing this and then bridging, but that's a lot of blocks and you can usually shoot them, so you don't have to be worried about that. Glass is so I can hear people. I make this wall the bedrock wall so people can't tunnel past it. The reason I put fences is so they have to take a step back to pillar up, because they have to place less of a block. And if they do that, that means there's more space in between me and the offender, so I can keep both spamming them. And yeah, the ladders, I do ladders instead of fences because it's faster when you get them in your spawn kit or the chests in spawn, and they have the same effect as I explained in the video about materials and blocks. The reason I have the fences is because this way, if people are bridging, they have to bridge at this height limit, which means I can shoot them off, or they have to bridge underneath and break it. Basically, they can't jump. If they can't jump, that's really good for me because then they fall, or they get stuck here, and then they're sad, because I can shoot them and knock them off or whatever. Okay, that's all. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.